Sarah Spain here for ESPNW with Dr. J, Julius Erving, not only a tremendous basketball player, but now the author of a best-selling book, New York Times best-selling book, and a Emmy Award-winning documentary. Both go by the name The Doctor, or the unauthorized, or the authorized biography of Dr. J. So let's start out talking big hits in the NBA, because as much as the actual season ended quite a bit ago now, nobody stopped talking about it because of those big name free agents. Do you think that LeBron James going back to Cleveland allows people to view him as a likable player again, or do you think he still has some work to do in order to kind of clean up some of what people viewed as a negative when he went to Miami?
Well, I think he cleaned up the negative by performing down there and being consistent in terms of his obligation to the franchise. He fulfilled it, so he can't be criticized because of that. The move to Cleveland, it's very iconic. I mean, not unprecedented, but you know, there's reason and logic associated with it. And he explained it in one fell swoop, writing a letter instead of it being, you know, long drawn out drama. And you know, how he'll be viewed, the essence of how people will feel, remains to be seen.
The other big name in this free agency frenzy was Carmelo Anthony. And what's funny about it is he went back to New York, and you know, he's sticking with home, right? This is the team he wanted to play for and he left the Nuggets for. And he's sort of getting dogged for not going to the Bulls where he had the best chance to win right away, which is the opposite of what happened to LeBron. He got dogged for going somewhere to win. Now Melo's getting dogged for not going somewhere to win. How do you see that? Do you view Melo's choice as all about the money, or do you think there's part of him that wants to do what LeBron wants, which is to bring a title home?
Well, I think the business situation is the prevailing item here. He did leave Denver to go to New York. You know, he had a MVP-like seasons there, won the scoring title, but as a team they didn't have nearly the success that LeBron had in Miami. So there's unfinished business there. And he probably, as well as LeBron, made the right choice.
NBA has changed a lot since you were in the league, and one of the big things now is that it's easier than ever for players to decide their own destiny. They're much more in control of what teams they go to. And in some ways that's great. It is great for the players to be able to decide, this is where I want to play, this is who I want to play with. On the other hand, it does affect the depth of the NBA. Teams are selling players like crazy to make room for a free agent, and then they don't get them. Their roster's depleted, and there's much less, you know, parity within the league. Do you like the way the state of the NBA is right now, or do you feel like at some point it's going to come to a head where it's just 3 teams that have super teams?
Hopefully it doesn't get to that. But there have always been dominant teams in the league. You know, there's been a dominant team in the West, dominant team in the East. You know, the analytical piece to this, because it has become rocket science. I mean, you have to match up, and you got to make the, you know, get under the cap or be penalized. And it's hard to hold on to superstars. I played my whole NBA career in Philadelphia, but I played with 2 ABA teams before going to Philadelphia. So my path was a little different, and it is more like the guys who have been able to opt out and determine their destiny. Going back to Long Island for 3 years, after 2 years in Virginia, was going back to my hometown. I actually literally played, you know, the same county that I grew up in. And that was amazing.
You're just like LeBron, right?
Well, he's just like me.
Oh, you know? Oh, you are right on that one. I'm sorry.
You know, and it was an amazing experience and making a difference. And even today, you know, my connection to Nassau County and the public-private partnerships that we deal with in that county had to do with going back there for those 3 years. So, once again, he's just like me.
Just like you.